How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I already made a video today covering so much of the market, but I want to give you an update on Polygon because it's been running recently. It's now the 10th largest crypto, and I think there's some big things on the horizon for them. And they've just announced a lot of big advancements and partnerships as well. So we're going to go over that, just give you an update on Polygon in general, why it's up, take a look at the Bitcoin or the MATIC Bitcoin chart, and see if this thing can continue to run. Now, overall, I think we just need to take a breath because it's been a great month so far. I mean, Bitcoin's up 40 or 50% from the lows. A lot of stocks are up as well. Tesla ran 10% 2 days in a row, and it's been great. Even if you're not in a high volatility asset within crypto, just Bitcoin itself has done extremely well. I think we may be going to more of a Bitcoin season. So I'm not saying to go out and buy Polygon right now, but I want to give you an update on why it's running, and then also give you some piece of information that might influence your decision when you do eventually want to buy altcoins. And I think there's going to be a time for it. Now, Polygon in general has done extremely well. Over the last week, it's up 16% compared to Bitcoin's 4% compared to Ethereum's negative 2%. It's been really strong ever since last summer when it was around 30 cents. It's up like 300%. It's 4x'd since then. And some people think that this run in crypto is going to continue. I mean, Elio Trades, one of the biggest crypto influencers, just said that starting this month, the Fed is going to change how inflation is calculated. Instead of fixing inflation, they're just going to change how it's calculated. This could let them pivot to quantitative easing much faster and solidify a new bull narrative. Respect is a pump, he says. And I think we've talked about this on the channel as well. They're changing up how inflation will be calculated. Again, kind of crazy that they can just do this in times of high inflation, but that's why we buy something like Bitcoin that's got a fixed supply that cannot be influenced by politics, cannot be influenced by people just wanting to have a little bit more supply, wanting to pump their own bags by inflating or trying to minimize the massive debt that they have just by inflating it away. So I think now is a good time to be talking about Polygon in general because it does seem to be running really well right now. And there are a few reasons for that. Obviously, one of the reasons is just the fact that they had a ton of massive partnerships. That's not even pulled up here, but they did have Disney, Nike, Starbucks, a lot of brand names, a lot of big names. And they are all integrating on Polygon, causing the usage to probably go up. It's really fast and really high throughput, cheap as well. So we can have a lot of big brands build on Polygon. Because of that, they're being used a lot. I mean, a lot of these entities still are not pushing a lot of users to their NFT collections or getting a lot of daily active users, I'm sure, because it's still early days for a lot of these brands with NFTs and stuff like that. But we're still getting a ton of users on Polygon. Polygon just overtook Ethereum for daily active users, and that's 340,000 versus 320,000. So still we're talking about low numbers overall compared to how big the world is, but now it's second. We also had the Swoosh Studio launching just on the 25th, so now this is being built on Polygon, or being built with Polygon, and now you can use it. The Swoosh community voted on their favorite AF1 sneakers to influence the upcoming Our Force 1 collection journey. So it's really cool. A lot of big brands building on it. Fractal is expanding to Polygon. Fractal, WAGMI, Mints, Tournaments, Marketplace, and Studio are now available on Polygon, and they're excited to launch with Fractal's 30 Polygon partners. And Fractal, if you don't know, is coming from the co-founder Justin Kan, the co-founder of Twitch. So they're going to help companies create blockchain-enabled games. Really cool. Really big partnership and really big person to have on your side. Obviously, Twitch is huge into gaming, so they have a lot of great connections. Now, we know that some companies like Amazon are choosing to go in another direction as well. I mean, they're using Avalanche to help bring blockchain technology to enterprises and governments, but they just announced today that they're going to have this NFT initiative coming here soon. They say that Amazon's been shopping the digital collectibles effort to no shortage of power players in the industry. Said to be among those entities are Layer 1 blockchains, blockchain-based game startups, and developers and digital asset exchanges. There's a focus on blockchain-based gaming and related NFT applications. Now, when you think about different layer ones, because they do say blockchains, not a layer 1 blockchain. I think one of the cryptos you have to think about is Polygon. Now they say that they're a layer 2, but they're also pretty much a layer 1. So I would not be surprised if they used both Avalanche and Polygon. That could be a huge catalyst here in the coming weeks or months. They say this spring, so probably more like months. And obviously that would pump up Polygon's price a lot. I mean, when Amazon announced this and Avalanche got a lot of attention, Avalanche moved up, I think it was like 30% within a few days. Now, MATIC versus Bitcoin, I think, is something relatively important to take a look at whenever we are looking at altcoins. I think it's important to look at how they're valued in Bitcoin, not just versus US dollars. You can see here on the chart, it's been pumping up over the last few days. Obviously, we have had Polygon move up a lot, while Bitcoin's not been moving up so much over the last few days. And I think what's really important here is we are bucking this downtrend. So if we put a line right here, I realize that it's kind of small right now, but you can see breakout right there. But also there's not much resistance here. I mean, we've had a few different spikes back in early 2021 when we had that massive altcoin season. And then back in January of 2022 or December, it kind of pushed towards the end of the year. A lot of money flew out of Bitcoin and some went into altcoins, and then it really fell down. The Polygon Bitcoin price, but now we're on a massive run, spiking up into November 2022. We had FTX collapse right around then. Bitcoin fell down a lot around that time. Polygon did fine, and now kind of leveled back out, but now we're starting to pump up again. But I think what's really important here, again, is there isn't much resistance. I mean, right here, we can see one point where we were over a year ago, but from there, we're looking at another, 10% or so in the Polygon versus Bitcoin price, which would equate to about another 10 or 11 cents on Polygon without Bitcoin moving in price. So we could see that continue. I wouldn't be surprised either, though, if we did see a little bit of a cool down, whether it's crypto in general, because we are in greed. I still think Bitcoin and crypto is going to do really well long term and even over the coming months, but we might see a short term pullback just because we have been a little bit overbought recently. But then also we may see a little bit of a pullback in Polygon just because it's done so well over the last week and over the last couple weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised again to see a pullback. Maybe that's the time that you want to buy in a little bit heavier if you're not already bought in. I don't like buying pumps, but I'm also not selling my Polygon bag right now. So if that gives you any indication where I'm at, I do think Polygon's going to do really well long term. And even just getting back to where we were in the last cycle, not every single crypto reaches all-time highs, but I think a lot of people like Polygon at this point and think that will reach all-time highs again in the next cycle. Even if we just get to the previous peak, we're looking at $2.70, which is a nice 2.5x from here. I would expect us to go much more than that in the next bull cycle, though, and I think Polygon will really come away as a huge winner in the next bull cycle. But let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. I think it was just important to do a little update talking about why Polygon is doing so well. Let me know your thoughts, and I will put this video on the end screen that I shot earlier today.